everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Emma Does Styles, and in today's video we'll be making this beautiful Bubu dress with the V design at the front. Let's get right into this video. For this dress, I'm going to be making use of this African print and this doll face here. So now just go ahead and fold my fabrics into 4 places. I will fold it into 2 equal halves and then proceed to fold it into 4. I need to turn it into the wrong side of the fabrics because I'm going to be drafting on my fabrics. So guys, I folded my fabrics into 4 because I'm drafting both the front and the back piece together. The center front is going to be the part that doesn't have any opening, which is the part that is closest to me right now. And the first thing I'm going to be doing now is to draw a straight line across the top that will serve as my shoulder line. So from my shoulder line, I'm going to go down by 10 inches and that will serve as my armhole depth. So when I'm done marking out the 10 inches, I'll use my ruler to draw a straight line across. When I'm done with that, the next thing I'll do now is to measure the length of my gown. So from the shoulder line, I'll measure it to 38 inches. I'll make a mark there. Then I'll use my ruler to draw a straight line across the 38 inches, which will be the length of my gown. So now I'm going to go in by half of my shoulder measurement, and from this shoulder measurement that I got, I'm going to determine how long I want the sleeve to be. I added 7 inches to my shoulder measurement, and that makes it 14 inches for my shoulder measurement plus my sleeve. So now on the armhole depth that I marked out earlier on, I'll mark out my bust measurement divided by 4 on it. I'm placing my tape again on my shoulder line, and I'm going to be marking out my hip measurement, which is 22 inches. I'll mark it out, then I'll draw a straight line across the point that I marked out. So now guys, on my hip line, I will mark out my hip measurement divided by 4. Then I will add extra 5 inches for ease. It depends on how free you want your gown to be. You can add 6 or thereabouts. So guys, earlier on when I was marking out my bust measurement, I only mark out my exact bust measurement. I did not add the extra allowance for stitching. So I will go ahead and mark out the extra 5 inches for stitching allowance and for ease. So now guys, from my armhole depth, I will go up by 1 inch and mark it out. After that, I will use my ruler to just draw a straight line from my shoulder line to my armhole depth, then connecting it with a small curve towards the end. It's so simple guys, just look at the way I'll do mine. So now I will connect from my armhole depth to my hip line here and to the length of my gown. The next thing I'll be doing now is to trace the marked area and cut it out. For my neckline, I will go in by 3 inches, and on the point where I marked 3 inches, I'll go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. So now for my neck depth, I go down by 1.5 inch and I make a curve, then I cut it out. So right now, I will separate the front piece from the back piece before cutting out the neckline of the front piece. So guys, I just pick one of the pieces to use as my front piece. So now from my shoulder line, I come down by 7 inches for my front neck depth. I marked it out and use my ruler to connect a V neckline all the way to my neck width. So guys, this is what the front piece looks like when I'm done cutting out the neckline. For the V design at the front, I'm going to be making use of this fabric and I'll be folding it into 2 equal halves like this. So when I'm done with that, I'll place my front piece on it and I'll trace out the V neckline. The next thing I'll do is to mark out my shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then place the tape rule on the shoulder line to measure the length I want the V shape to reach. So for the length, I will measure 19 inches. So now guys, I will just use my ruler to draw a straight line across the point that I marked out. Now for the V effect, I'll place my tape rule on my shoulder line again and measure 12 inches. So now from the new point that I marked out now, I'll use my straight ruler to just connect a straight line from that point to my shoulder line. So after that, I'll just connect it like this to form a V shape. It's so simple, guys. Just watch the way I'm doing mine. So now this is what I have. When I'm done, I'll just go ahead and cut it out. For the V-neck line, I'll be using the lining to turn it so that it will come out really neat. So I'll be cutting out the lining now. I'll trace out the V shape on the lining. So guys, the next thing I'm doing now is to place my fabrics right side facing each other. So now I'll be stitching this side here and the V shape and the other side here. Take note, guys, I will not be stitching the neckline and the shoulders. I already used my V shape to turn out the neckline of my fabrics here, and I've used my sewing machine to secure it. This is what it looks like after I was done doing that. So guys, now for the pockets, I'll fold my fabrics into two equal halves like this, and I'll fold it again into two, making it 4 folds. So now for the pockets, I'll just make a mark around a place here as you see me do. Then from that point, I'll mark out 7 inches. I'll place my hand inside the 2 points that I mark at now. I'll make sure my hand enter into the 2 points. Then I'll make a curve around the 2 areas. Just watch as I'm doing mine. So when I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So now guys, this is our pocket, and as you can see, we have 4 pieces. So now to place my pockets, I will take my fabrics, both the front piece and the back piece. Then I'll fold it into two like this, and I'll measure out from my shoulder line to the point I want my pocket to start from. For me, I measure 18 inches and I use my scissors to notch it so that I'll be able to identify it before I place my pocket. But guys, something happened. I discovered that the 18 inches that I marked out is too much. So I had to reduce it to 12 inches. Then I placed my pocket on the point where I marked out, which is 12 inches. Then I'll use my pin to secure it. I use my pin to pin it down before going to the sewing machine to stitch it down. I will do the same thing for the other side as well. I'll place my pocket on the point where I marked out, which is 12 inches. Then I'll use my pin to pin it down before heading to the sewing machine to secure it. I'll do the same thing for the back fabrics. Now for the sleeve, I cut out these fabrics of about 3.5 inches. Then I iron in half inches, and I'll place it on the wrong side of my front piece like this. I'll use my pin to pin it down before heading to the sewing machine to stitch it before turning it to the wrong side. If you get what I mean. It's so simple, guys. Just watch as I am doing it now. So after I was done stitching it down like this, I'll just turn it to the right side like this, as you can see, before using my sewing machine to stitch it all the way down like this. I will do the same thing for the other side as well. I'll place my fabrics on the wrong side of my sleeve like this. I'll pin it down, then head over to my sewing machine to stitch it down. Then I'll turn it to the right side again and secure it down with my sewing machine. So now this is what I have after I was done stitching and turning to the right side. As you can see, I've joined the shoulders together. The next thing now is to join the front piece and the back piece together. Guys, our gown is almost ready. To join the two pieces together, I'll use my pin to pin both sides down to secure it. So now I'll mark out the 2 inches that I left earlier on for the stitches allowance all the way down for both sides. The next thing I will do now is to head over to my sewing machine to stitch it down. So guys, I will stitch, watch the direction of my hand. Then when I get to that place, I will curve the pocket like this. Then I'll make the stitch towards the end of my gown again. This place that you see me touch, I'm not going to stitch it. It is the entrance, the opening of the pocket. I will stitch like this. Then I'll make a curve like this, as you see my hand demonstrate like this. Then I'll stitch all the way down. I will do the same thing for this other side as well. I will stitch from my armhole like this. Then when I get to this place, I will stitch inside like this. I'll curve it around my pockets like this. Then I will stitch to the end of my gown. For the down part of my gown, I already used my tape rule to measure the length of the down part of my gown. Then I used it to cut out the length of these fabrics, and I use 4 inches wide on fold to cut it out. To attach this to my gown, I'll turn my gown to the wrong side, then I'll stitch it around, then I'll turn it over to the right side again and top stitch it. It is so simple to do. Turn your fabrics to the wrong side, stitch this all the way around, turn it to the right side again and top stitch. So guys, this is the outcome. This is what it looks like when I'm done stitching. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. See you in the next one.